On the last Monday of the year, the last Raw of the WWE USA Monday Night Relationship. Vince Russo, you were there for so many years, man. So many years doing the Raw on USA era they were there from 1993 to 2000, then back from 2005 till tonight. This is it, Rance. You were there from what 90? What time? When did you start?
94-ish, I think. I don't even know when my starting date was. 94-ish, I think.
94. So you're there for 6 years of the USA era, and yeah, man. So what are some fond memories that you can have that you remember on Raw from the USA era, Vince Russo?
Well, I mean, one thing that really helped me along, I learned a lot from Bonnie Hammer, man.
Okay.
Getting to just listen to her
She
and
was a
have
USA exec, right?
yeah, just getting to listen with her and have some conversations with her. I mean, I was really, really, really enlightened. She knew so much about television, man.
Oh, nice.
So it was great. It was great working with her. I used to refer to her like as a female Vince McMahon when it came to television. She knew television, man, and she was as sharp as a tack, man.
Nice. What are some of the things that you remembered from her that you took to help you with your television
Well,
career?
one of the most important things, she taught me was you can't assume people are watching every week. So you got to reiterate the stories and bring everybody up to speed constantly. Like, you got to write the show assuming people are writing this for the first time. And that's something she taught me early on.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. My headphones went on again. You can't assume everybody blank.
You can't assume everybody watches this show every week.
There you go.
You got to write this show like people are watching it for the first time, which means you got to bring them up to speed. You got to tell them who everybody is, what angle everybody's in, constantly, every single week.
I can dig it. Well, that was that sparked so much positive success, wild success during the Attitude Era, as you would say, Vince Russo. Yeah, man. So this is it. This is the end for the USA and their Monday Night Relationship. What are your kind of 10,000-foot panoramic thoughts of the show for tonight?
Just another show, man. Not special that it was the last show on USA Network. The end of an era, the end of two eras, right? 20-something years.
Yeah.
Just another show, man. Just another show.
Almost 20 years for the second era, and 1993 is where it started on USA. So their relationship started in January of 93. So
yep.
Almost 33 years.
Yep.
Like a couple weeks away from 33 years was the relationship, man. That's a lot. But money talks, Vince, and Netflix spoke louder and gave more. So, and they have better.
It's going to be interesting though, because like I said, man, I had a lot of experience with USA Network being a consultant.
Yeah,
and the tail was clearly wagging the dog. Okay. I'm going to be curious to see what the relationship is going to be with Netflix, because, USA Network needed the WWE. Netflix is going to be Netflix with or without the WWE. So it's just going to be very interesting.
I think we see that, Vince. I think we see how with the card that they at least are putting next week. I don't know if this theme is going to continue, but with the card that we see next week for those hardcore fans, like I always say, Vince, I mean, that's what WWE is being booked for. It has been for a while, but according to their base, next week's card is a mega card. And so I don't know if that means that every week, or at least they're going to have a mega card feel every week, because going into Netflix, with they don't, they're more of a liability than an asset at this point. With USA, they were an asset. They were like the prime time sports attraction or sports entertainment attraction. Networks love that prime time sports, weekly attraction. Fox has it, NBC has it, so, and they're really big on that. And so we shall see. I mean, we shall see. Do you think that Monday night spot, Vince, will ever be filled with something other than Raw? Will that just be a spot in history that will never be touched again? That Monday primetime spot for wrestling.
Wait, so what exactly are you asking me, Chris?
So there'll be no more Monday night primetime spot for wrestling after 33 years almost.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think we'll see that revisited again ever by another wrestling promotion?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could. I definitely think that we could, bro. Again, man, it's we've talked about this many times, man. Content is king. And if you are a content provider, you can make a lot of money in the TV network streaming business, bro. So, can another content provider come up with a wrestling show? It's really not that difficult.
Yeah. So, AEW has the TNT TBS affiliation now streaming on Max coming up. Who else is left? NWA on Monday nights, USA primetime. Who else is left to have a primetime spot? TNA had a primetime spot.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. Man, you think
bro, you saw what's going on with the case now. Vince's lawyers are desperately trying to get this thing to go to arbitration. If this thing goes to arbitration, bro, he's off the hook. He can go into business tomorrow, and he would. So if this thing goes to arbitration, that means that they settle. That means that all the dirt will never come out.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon will be back in business.
And you better believe that USA will be interested in bringing him in whatever promotion.
Well, that's going to be, though, a little sticky, bro, because we got to remember SmackDown's on the USA Network.
That's true, too.
So that's going to be a little dicey. But, bro, I'm telling you, if they settle that case, Vince is going to be in business this year. In 2025, Vince will be in business.
Yeah, and then USA's so that I guess since the WWE has SmackDown on Fridays on USA until their contract is up, USA wants WWE programming, right? So I mean they've had such a long, super long relationship with WWE. I guess they're feeling some type of way that their flagship show is gone, but they do have that Friday show. I wonder how. I mean, you consulted, for USA. How do you think they feel that our 30+ year flagship show is gone, but we'll give you like? Okay, let me ask you this: does it feel kind of like sloppy seconds with SmackDown, or do you think that they are good enough for that?
You mean compared to Netflix?
Compared to having such a stable Monday show for over 30 years, do you think that Friday night show was?
Chris, we got a lot of things. We got a lot of interesting things that could be happening. Because now, Monday night, USA Network has lost the flagship show that they had for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon is 30. Vince McMahon is trying to settle this case. Mm-hmm. Bro, if Vince McMahon settles this case, how do we then not know if things will be fine between the relationship with him and Ariel Emanuel? Then if things are fine with the relationship with Ariel, Vince can look like he's starting his own company, but be in cahoots with Ari and get another show on Monday night on USA Network. A lot of interesting things.
Now, how would that affect WWE's TKO merger for the $9 billion?
Well,
WWE's going to have the Friday show.
Wait, say that again now.
So WWE still have the Friday show, even if Vince is in cahoots with Ari. How would that work if Ari still owns WWE? WWE has the Friday show. So how would that work if Vince and Ari try to get a Monday show?
Because Vince, it'll be under the guise of Vince McMahon, and it could be a Vince show, but he very, very much could be in bed with Ari and the USA Network, and they know it's the same company.
That's a little that's underhanded business.
Bro, this is wrestling. This is wrestling, Chris. We're not talking about a normal business. We're talking about wrestling and a lot of dirty people in this game, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would know that more than I do for sure. But I'm thinking like, man, don't spend $9 billion on a company just to have some type of underhanded, backhanded stuff. I do see the possibility for Vince and Shane to collab for a Monday night show. I can see that. Probably not on USA, but I can definitely see. I mean, they have what was it, Spike TV? They had a relationship with them for about 5 years. So from 2005 to from 2000 to 2005, they were on Spike TV. It has some sci-fi, dates that they were on too.
Bro, I don't think if Vince is if they settle this case and the dirt never comes out, I think Vince can go to any network he wants to go to, bro. I really do. And I'll tell you what, man, if he puts Shane McMahon out there, Shane will eat freaking Tony Khan for lunch. For lunch.
And you already know the flagship or who the staple. Okay, I'm thinking one person's name, and let me see if you can guess it. The one person who would be like the staple main event top guy in Vince's new promotion, if that were to be a thing, who do you think it would be? Who do you think I'm thinking it would be? Not the Undertaker, because he's not.
You're not thinking The Rock. Cena.
No, Rock is
Cena.
No, Cena's WWE for at least another year.
Go ahead. I don't know.
Brock.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, because if Vince gets off the hook, Brock's off the hook.
Yes.
You're right. You're right. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, if you go to a network with Vince McMahon, Brock Lesnar, and Shane McMahon, you're getting a deal. You're getting a deal, bro.
That's money right there, man. That's money. So, but who do you think else who's currently in the wrestling landscape? Who do you think would side with Vince McMahon, even with the kind of he's even if he gets off the hook with this Janelle Grant case, there's still going to be a stench in the public.
Yeah, but bro, that's where Shane comes in.
And be
bro,
the face of it.
Everybody likes Shane. Shane could, I guarantee you, Shane could get Kurt Angle back to wrestle again. You talk
he's
about
physically in chaos.
He can get him to do something.
Yeah, he can have
bro. I don't know, and I'm sure some did, but I don't know any wrestler that had heat with Shane McMahon. I don't know any wrestler that did not like Shane McMahon.
Mustafa Ali, I believe, is a free agent who was saying that he had a good relationship with.
He could be the champion.
I mean, Mustafa Ali and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, there you go, bro. Carry the company on their backs. Yeah.
There you go, man. Who else would be interesting?
I bet you a lot of guys would want to get out of AEW, bro, to go over there. I guarantee you. Guarantee you.
What about Edge?
That's what I was thinking.
Adam Copeland. Yeah. Adam Copeland, yeah. Although he's been singing the praises of AEW. So,
yeah.
I mean, if the money's, it's easy to sing the praises of AEW if you're
Of
getting
course it
paid
is. Of course it is, bro. Are you
seven
kidding me?
figures. You know what I mean?
Those
So,
guys know where they know where their bread is buttered,
of
bro.
course, yeah,
You
of
know?
course, yes. They know where their bread is buttered. Vince Russo. They
Yeah.
know where their bread is buttered. All right, let's get to these super chats before we get to the segments. We got Cliff Side. What's the most impactful moment in the USA Network era to you, Vince?
God, bro. I'm just, you know, bro, when you think of the USA Network era, like to me, you immediately got to think McMahon Austin. I mean, that was magic. You had two of the greatest performers in the history of the business, a clear cut over the top baby face, a heel that everybody hated, both just unbelievable in what they did. And it was such compelling television for weeks and months and years. I mean, that's the first thing I'll always think of.
The top two for me is Austin McMahon and everything that's surrounding it. So you even add the corporation in there, the corporate ministry, Mankind winning the world championship. That was because of um, Rock Mankind beef, but that was still Mankind was a part of the corporation, left the corporation, Rock joined. Rock turned on Mankind just a few a couple months before Mankind won the world championship. So it's that all that encompasses. There's so many. That's why I loved about Austin McMahon. There were so many kind of offshoots to that complete angle. You know, there were so many offshoots.
Oh yeah,
Kane and Taker. You know,
yeah.
what I mean,
I
there
was
were
just
so
gonna say
many.
Kane. I was just gonna say Kane and Taker was a big part of that, bro. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. It was really cool to see that, man. There's so many offshoots. What else? What else was an offshoot of? So Kane, so Taker, Kane coming back. That was Taker being what was that? October '97, and I do. What else was like a offshoot of?
Sean,
I guess the Union was an offshoot because of
Sean being the commissioner and then turning on Vince, and they, you know,
Yep, yeah, that was interesting too. So, speaking of the Union, let's talk about the Union for a second before we get into
what was the Union again?
So the Union was the like they were like the people who got kicked out of the corporation. It was Test, Ken Shamrock. I think Foley was a part of the Union too.
Bro, was I a part of that?
I think the Union was 99.
Because I don't remember
like
that.
99.
I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all.
Man.
I mean, I'm watching early '99 right now, and I've not seen it yet.
It was like so it stands for Up Yours or Union of People You Ought to Respect, son. So they were Yep. Spring of 99. Shamrock, Test, Mankind, and a Big Show. Yep. Those were the Union. I carried 2x4.
I don't. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that again because
so yeah. Where in 99 were you? Are you right now?
I just started. I'm in January.
Where in 99 are you right now?
January.
Okay. So you got 2 more months.
Just started.
You got 2 more months. Yeah. So you're about to see in a couple of months the Union form because all 4 of them were a part of the corporation, and somehow, one way or the other, they got ousted from the corporation, and so they formed a babyface 4-man team carrying 2x4s, opposing the corporation. So
that sounds like I ripped that.
If you think about it on paper,
yeah, that sounds like I ripped that off right out of fists. Right out of fists. That's
really?
where it sounds like it's from. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward when you get to the union, it'll probably refresh what caused you to do that. I am super interested in why you decided to form the union. I think it was an interesting,
bro. I just saw I watched it on Sunday. I just reviewed it yesterday, bro. I saw when Taker came back with the Ministry of Darkness.
Yep.
Bro, I forgot how heavy that was. That was freaking heavy. Bro, you know what the insane thing is? I swear to God, Chris, this is why networks like are so, I don't even know the word. Bro, the Ministry was the same episode where Mark Henry is with China and her friend Sammy. Okay. And Mark Henry goes downtown and realizes Sammy has testicles. Okay. Chris, they cut that out of the show, but we've got Taker cutting his wrist, pouring the blood in a goblet, making Dennis Knight drink the blood, and then cutting his symbol. They aired that. I'm like, what? How do you air that? And Mark Henry does the reach around, and you're gonna cut that out of the show? Yeah. Insane, bro.
So, would you rather a teenager to see, some type of, funny bar scene, or some type of demonic sacrifice? I mean,
and bro, Jake is talking in tongues.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Then he put his eyes behind.
I was like, my God, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
Woo, that was heavy.
For sure. All right, let's see here. We got David Duff at $2. Dr. Chris and Vince drop Raw for Bachelor Man. Bachelor Monday, January 27th. Okay, so the Bachelor is going to be that. They're going to fill that slot. Okay. Well, it's not a 3-hour slot. So what else are they going to do?
Oh, is that going to be a new run of Bachelor shows?
I guess so.
Oh, that's not a bad. That's not a bad get for the USA Network. That's a very popular show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder. Because that was a 3-hour show recently, 2 hours. I wonder what else they're going to put in that slot.
Yeah.
We shall see. I'm wondering if like college football or if NFL will try to grab that just for that sports.
Maybe. Yeah.
Let's see here. We have Awesome Sauce, $5. A week of WWE can now consist of a 3-hour Raw, a 3-hour SmackDown, 2-hour NXT, 2-night, 3-hour WWE PLEs, and 3-hour NXT PLE. That is absolutely correct. So let's do the math. 6, 8, 10. Actually, you said 2 3 hours. Okay. 6, 8, 14, 17 hours of WWE content in 1 week, and I guarantee you, Vince Russo, fans will eat it up.
Well, let's not say Marks will watch all 17 hours. Chris, no, Chris. Fans are not watching 17 hours of wrestling, bro.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
A large majority of current wrestling fans are a part of the hardcore audience. So it's hard to deny that based on the numbers that we see, that I would say a majority of what we see right now as far as wrestling fans are a part of the hardcore audience. And so that majority of what we see in the pro wrestling bubble, they'll eat it alive. They'll eat every single minute alive. Yeah,
we'll see.
Like from what you see now, Vince, what's the difference from what you see between a pro wrestling fan and a pro wrestling mark?
Marks are obsessed. It's an obsession is the word. You know, there's fandom and there's being obsessed, and there's a very, very, very fine line. If you are watching 17 hours of wrestling a week, you're obsessed with it. That's not a normal fan. You don't, bro. Chris, let me put it to you this way: an NFL fan is not watching 17 hours of football on a Sunday.
No.
If you're watching that much wrestling, you are an obsessed fan.
Yeah. So this is what AI defines a mark as: a fan who buys into the characters and events of pro wrestling as if they were real.
Right.
It can also refer to a fan who is overly devoted to a particular wrestler, promotion, or wrestling style.
Right.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep. So I think that's pretty spot on. How many? Give me a percentage of pro wrestling fans do you think currently in the scope of pro wrestling that we see right now? How many of them percentage wise are marks?
Okay, so let's take 1.5 million people watch Raw every week. Let's just take that number, 1.5 million.
Yep.
Absolute marks that will never miss a show.
Yeah.
Well, bro, I think their line is like 1.2 million. I think there are 1.2 million fans that would watch Raw every week if they put up a test pattern. I really do believe that.
So about 60%.
1.2 million. I think that's their base. I believe that is their base that will watch everything.
Gotcha.
But they will watch everything up until this point. I think this could be too much for even some of them.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Well, we shall see how many we shall see how many people are marks when it comes to 80% is the math there. You said it's 1.2 out of the 1.5.
Yeah.
We'll watch it every week.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 80%.
Yes.
All right, so that's a pretty high number when it comes to pro wrestling marks, man. That's an interesting number there. How many, SK Nation, how many people do you think? What's a percentage? Vince Russo says he believes that 80% of pro wrestling fans are marks, which actually goes further into my point that I would say a large majority. I wouldn't even say 80%, but 80% is pretty high. It goes to my point that I would say a large majority of the pro wrestling fans that we see are rabid. They'll watch it every day, all day if they had a chance to, man. So, but it plays right into the current model of WWE when it comes to those high prices. So we got 100%, we got 70%, 75% tops, 85%. They're all pretty high. All right, let's get into the rest of these here. We have Awesome Sauce, $5. Also, WWE isn't transferring classic content from the network to Netflix, so fans can't watch classic shows. Endeavor sucks. Well, they are filling up that WWE Vault YouTube page with classic stuff for free. So they're switching over to, yes, the WWE Network is no longer a thing. So it's actually more beneficial to fans because the WWE Network was typically it used to be a paid service. But now they're switching it over to the free YouTube page, WWE Vault. So that's a plus for fans. Dez 199, happy holidays, Dr. Chris and Vince. God bless you. God bless you as well, man.
Yep.
Indeed. Always good to hear you, Dez. Zubair is in the building. Anything 999 or above gets a cha-ching. Merry Christmas / happy holidays, everyone. With now the end of Raw on USA. network. It's definitely sad after many years, but sad how the quality declined. You think Netflix would be pushing Raw to be better? What do you think about that, Vince? You think
Bro, listen, man, Netflix, I'm a fan of Netflix. I watch a lot of Netflix, bro. Yep. There's a lot of edgy stuff on Netflix. There's a lot of cool stuff on Netflix. There's a lot of cutting edge stuff on Netflix. I mean, guys, the second season of Squid Games just came out. Watch Squid Games and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Isn't Cobra Kai still a thing?
Cobra Kai, yeah. Bro, if this is Mambi, Pambi, Kitty, Raw, and it's on Netflix prime time, man, I don't know how that's gonna sit with them, bro, because they have a lot of serious programming on Netflix.
Here's my take on this, Vince. I was informed that all of the subscriptions will have ads, and I was informed to compare it to like the Christmas games for the NFL. All right. So even with the ads on the Christmas game, they averaged 24 million a game. There was their averages for the games for Netflix. And so with that live content sports model, NFL's the cream of the crop when it comes to sports viewership. So it's showing me that if you have a live average of viewers of 24 million, that's really kind of like where you can top off. 24 million people watching Netflix, watching live sports. So it would be a little like you can't bring in like two compared to the same people who have Netflix subscriptions watching the same Netflix. 24 million people for this sports on Netflix, but only two for this sports on Netflix. And so I think I was waiting to see those numbers for the NFL, and I saw that they averaged about 24 million. I was like, okay, well that goes to show me the number of people that gives me a data set. That gives me a data set of this live sports launch, what they're doing more with Netflix in 2025 and the end of 2024. They did it with Tyson and Paul as well. So I think that was 60 million for them. And so it goes to show that with 60 million and 24 million, there's a lot of people who are willing to watch live sports on Netflix. And so if you got 60 million and 24 million, WWE really has to go and pull out all the stops to get at least 10, 8, 12. You don't want to get 2 compared to other live sports endeavors. And so that's kind of my philosophy, what I'm hoping that WWE would do with this. Don't settle for 2 million when football is getting, over 10 times more than that. So we shall see where that goes. All right, let's Michael Pesolano 199. Michael's collapsing most memorable USA moment. There you go.
Yeah, I remember that. That was well done. God, thank you, Michael. I do remember that. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that goes back. That goes into my second one too. I think the second most impactful moment in the USA era for Raw was the advent of DX. I think DX was outside. I think Austin McMahon and everything around it is a clear-cut number one for me. Number 2 was DX. I think there was a lot of offshoots for DX as well. So
I think when we're talking moments, though, like Michael here's talking about a moment. I think the beer truck was a big moment.
Oh yeah, it was a good one too. Yeah, that was huge. That was Austin and Austin McMahon. So yeah, I mean, yeah, moments. Impactful, yes.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking of the Chin Man gimmick with DX with Slaughter, and then you have the
windshield wipers. That popped me huge. That popped me huge.
Yeah, and then the state of the
address. Yeah,
address with DX that was huge too. So DX moments was big too. Impact,
the invasion of
oh yes,
WCW, bro.
absolutely.
Huge.
Yeah, that was on Raw too. That was live on Raw. So yeah, I mean, it goes to my point. I mean, things involving DX to me was second, and then things involving Austin McMahon. Although DX has a strong argument too, because I think that invasion angle, that the invasion segment was one of the most impactful USA moments. All right, we got Michael back in the building. No, we got Zubair, $10. Thoughts on SmackDown officially going 3 hours. They're not even hyping or trying to make the show must see for the third hour show. Talk about change in quality compared to the first 3 hour Raw with Raw 1000, Vince. What do you think?
They're not even trying to make the show must see for the guys. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Aside, you got to, bro. Put the first show is an anomaly. They've had months and months and months and months and months to prepare for this first show. Okay. Yeah. Once we get into the routine of every week, you need a 3 hour SmackDown and a 3 hour Raw. This is all you're going to see. That is all. I promise you, I guarantee you, that is all you're going to see. And that's where I'm saying, I think with this much programming, fans are going to start understanding, well, if we miss Raw this week, we're really not going to miss anything. Bro, do you know, again, I'm looking at tonight's show, right, bro? 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes into this show before Jey Uso said anything. So, guys, they killed 10 minutes off the top of this show, and this is only 2 hours. They killed 10 minutes off the top before a word was even said. That is what you're going to see on both shows.
So with this new, so I reported that WWE is going to be more cinematic in their approach, and then Triple H on the promo, he said you'll see things that you've never seen before when it comes to this Netflix era. So when do you when you think that when that is considered, and if they start making things cinematic, similar to like what we see with the Roman Reigns promo challenging Solo Sikoa, the Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes promo from SmackDown that a lot of people liked. If we see more of those very high cinematic type of segments and parts of Netflix, do you think that would add some intrigue for the viewers?
Yeah, Chris, it would, bro. But they've shown, Chris, how long we've been doing over this show? How long, Chris?
Ooh, it was, I don't
know, 4 years, something like that.
Yeah, 3.5. Yeah, late 2020.
Chris, if they've showed us anything, they've definitely showed us one thing. They cannot do anything with consistency over a length of time. They can't do it. They've never shown us they can do it. We've seen so many things fall flat on its face. Yeah, bro, they'll do a Cody and a Roman on the 50-yard line. They'll put something like that out. But that's not what it's about, bro. It's about the consistency on the week-to-week programming. They've not shown us that they're capable of doing that.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting as when it comes to the SmackDown show. I do think that, well, I was informed that the goal of this is to open up, as far as the creative is concerned, to perhaps push more people. I heard the Blair Davenport's name considered to be someone who could be utilized more in a prominent role coming into 2025. So we shall see, because from their perspective, from the inside perspective, it's like, okay, so there's a lot of people sitting in catering. We don't have anything to do with them, like a Apollo Crews or a Blair Davenport, and we're going to open it up to them. So they're thinking from a business standpoint, we're actually going to utilize people we're paying for. So that makes sense. But again, from a casual fan standpoint, none of that really matters because none of them are going to move the needle, but they are at least going to utilize them and they're going to, get what they're getting paid for.
Yeah.
So I can understand both ends. Michael is in the building again in 199. Okay, we already had that. Zubair is in the building again, $5. With a move to Netflix, you think WWE once again will only care for Raw and treat SmackDown as the forgotten stepchild to try to make both shows good? What do you think?
Yeah, Zubar, because USA allows that. Yeah, I was there, guys. I experienced it. I'm telling you, they have allowed the tail to wag the dog. So now it's going to be the same exact situation it was when SmackDown had Fox. It's going to be the same exact thing, Zubair. Same exact
thing. Who's okay? Roman's still the flagship on SmackDown. Roman and Cody. So I think if they keep that, if they keep Roman and Cody on SmackDown, that would help them with the 3-hour show. But then you got to consider when is this bloodline stuff in, and with SmackDown on to 3 hours, that can further expand this bloodline stuff.
Bro,
I swear, bloodline will end?
I'm just being, Chris, I am being serious as a heart attack now. I swear I am. I hope I could do the 6 hours for a lengthy period of time. I really do, bro, because it's if I'm sitting there every week and I am absolutely miserable, the money isn't going to be worth it to me. I mean, I'm just telling you that if I am agonizing through 3 hours on Friday, then 3 hours on Monday, bro, the money ain't going to matter to me. I really hope. I mean, bro, like we've been on vacation. We've had a 2-hour Raw, 2-hour SmackDown the last month. Yeah. And we can fast forward through Raw.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a whole new ball game, Chris.
Yeah. Don't you do the PLE post shows too?
Once in a while they'll ask me to, but yeah, I don't, yeah.
That's 9 hours of pro wrestling, man. You better be getting the big bucks for that, Vince Russo.
What I'm saying is the big bucks don't even matter. Like I'm telling you, Chris, it don't even matter if I'm sitting like, bro, this show tonight, like right off the bat, Chris, I'm watching this show and I'm like, are we really gonna do the Dominik Mysterio thing with New Day now? Like, are you freaking kidding me? It was pathetic with Dominik. Now you're going to do the same exact thing where Creed is doing the old waiting for them. Yeah. Are we going to do this now for the next 6 months with freaking New Day, bro? So you're going to make me sit there with my thumb up my cooler and you're wasting 10 minutes till these guys freaking talk. Seriously, man? Come on, Chris.
Yep, that's what's going to happen because they look at that in the crowd and they say, yes, success. This is working. And then they'll see the socials and they will say, yes, people are talking about the New Day.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, 24 million people ain't going to be sitting there watching that because you know what, Chris? That's not sports. No. That's boring. That's boring. That's not sports, bro.
I'm looking forward to see these this premiere number. I'm really looking forward to guesstimate. Like, what do you think they'll get?
Oh, I think they'll do. I mean, bro, the time they've had to promote this, the way they've promoted this, they better do at least 5 million people.
Yeah.
I mean, they better do 5 million people.
Yeah, I think they'll do at least 5, especially live. Yeah, I mean, I'd give it. I give it 5. I give it 5 to 8. 5 to 8.
Chris, Chris. They've got an audience of 1.5 million people. That's who watches Raw on the USA Network. Chris, television viewers, casual fans are not sitting there for 3 hours, Chris. They're not. They may check it out. They're not sitting through 3 hours of this show. The second Io Sky and Laura Velcro hit the ring, Bye-bye.
Yeah, but
See you later.
They're not going to be a part of that next
Chris.
week. But I will say this, Vince. I do think, well, watching the entire 3 hours isn't going to be that doesn't determine the numbers anyway. So we will see. I think it will peak at over 5. I think it'll peak over 5.
Oh, yeah, that's possible. No, that's possible. That's possible. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Dan 199. What's the total hours weekly if you add AEW and TNA?
You got a calculator, Chris?
I do. Well, again, man, I think a large majority of the fans that we see now are going to watch every single bit of it. So you have 3 Raw, right? And you have 3 SmackDown, and then you have 2 TNA,
Yeah,
right? 2 AEW, 2 NXT. Or is it NXT just 1 hour? It's 2 hours, isn't it?
I think so. I don't know. I don't watch it.
2 Dynamite, 2 Collision.
That's 16.
16 hours, Vince. That's a week. That's minus the PLEs. So if you add 1 PLE so every week, add 1 PLE to that. So monthly, so both have a PLE, say a monthly, right? So a December PLE for WWE and AEW, that's 19 hours. 2 of those weeks are going to have 19 hours. So that's 38 hours plus another 32, 70 hours of WWE television a month, Vince. Let's go. Let's go.
It's clear to say this, okay? It is no longer special. And when something is no longer special, it definitely is not must-see TV.
Yeah.
And it is not special anymore. With this amount of wrestling on television, it is not special. God, I remember, Chris, the only thing we had at one point, well, you know, you had your Saturday night show late, and then you had Madison Square Garden on Cablevision once a month. That was it. That was it. That's what you had, man. And it was special. You had to see those garden shows. This is not special anymore, man.
Coliseum home video, the
yes.
VHS tapes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Let's see here. We have David, $2. AEW seemingly lost a lot of their original marks.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
almost 1 million of them, at least 800,000 of them has fell by the wayside from the original numbers. Rollin, $9.99. WWE Raw compilation included China. Oh, thank you. See, I like stuff like this. So that the compilation video was pretty good. China, Sasha, Edge, Daniel Bryan, Eddie. Oh, you said Edge already. Tyson shoving Austin. And the final image was Austin raising both hands in the air after spraying the corporation with the beer truck. Yeah, that was what do you think about that compilation?
Bro, I must have fast forwarded through that.
It was pretty good. I liked it. It was pretty good. I mean, you know, WWE production is bar none anyways, man. They do a fantastic job with that. G-Man, $2. They said next week is the most stacked card ever. Shake my head. What do you think about that, Vince? Do you think that there's some legitimacy to that as far as
it depends on what you're comparing it to. Is it the most stacked Raw ever? Possibly. Yeah. But you know, when you're looking at those Saturday night main events, I mean, they had some stacked shows back in the day, Chris.
Yeah, I think he was talking about the most stacked Raw ever.
It could be.
I think it presents an argument as far as a stacked card. Yeah. Fan Sports, $2. Vince, Dr. Chris, Happy New Year from
Cramar's delicious mystery appetizer, Chris.
There you go. Very nice. We got Awesome Sauce, $5. Memorable USA moment when Piper said JYD wore more chains than his ancestors on prime time. I laughed so hard at that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. The things that you would get canceled for.
Oh my God, forget it, bro. Forget it. Forget it.
Speaking of this is the same Piper that wore a half blackface during his feud with Bad News Brown, ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen. That was the same Roddy Piper who got
Yep.
away with a lot of stuff back in the 80s and 90s, man. There you go. He would be canceled out of this world if he would be in the 2020s era for sure. Michael Pestilano, 199. Eugene's musical chairs with Flair and Jericho. Speaking of canceled, what? Yeah, how much you didn't follow Eugene's character?
No, I didn't see any of that, bro.
Gotcha. Yeah, interesting character there. I mean, shout out to Nick Dinsmore, man. He that was all the times he's been a trainer. He's been competing in the pro wrestling for years, but he's mostly known for the Eugene character.
Bro, I gotta tell you, I was overseas. And there was a 4-corner match between Eugene and Grado. And like in all 4 corners, there were weapons that they would have as weapons. Like one of the weapons was like 1,000 Legos. Nice. Bro, I got to tell you, I swear that is a match nobody saw. I think that was the most entertaining match I'd ever seen in my life. In my freaking life. That's how good those guys were.
That's the thing, man. Grado, wasn't a WWE creation, but Eugene was. And it's like, as much as people want to, crap on Vince, which, I mean, these allegations are true. There's a lot to crap on Vince about. Even the hush, money is guilt in some way. And I do think, from a business standpoint, man, he knows how to trademark people. That's for sure. He knows how to trademark gimmicks. Like, if you think of like the Boogeyman, for instance, right? Like the Boogeyman, because what's so good about stuff like that is a lot of these wrestlers, when they retire, they literally get their money and are able to pay their bills, and they just go to autograph signings multiple times a month. And so they make a ton of money with these autograph signings. They have $60, $80 photo ops, and they get a ton of that. They go to a few a month. They're able to pay the bills. And that wouldn't happen if they didn't have the character created by Vince McMahon that gave them the opportunity to make a living post WWE.
Chris, you know what is never said about Vince McMahon that I really have to tip my hat for, especially, bro, in this age of social media, where if you fail or make a mistake, people are all over you. Bro, Vince was not afraid of failure. He was not the gobbledygooker. Like, he was not afraid of creating bad characters. That's one thing. He wasn't afraid of starting the XFL. He wasn't afraid of starting his own movie studio. The World Bodybuilding. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing you got to say about him that I give him all the credit for, because like Dixie Carter, she wouldn't do anything out of fear, out of it failing and people pointing the finger at her. Vince could have cared less. If you really look at Vince's successes and failures, bro, I bet you they're pretty even. But he never worried about failing, bro.
What outside of the Undertaker, what like super gimmick that was in between that 93 to like 96 time frame came out successful? I mean, you had like, Bastion Booger, and,
nobody that he created. Everybody that came over were already made. Hogan and Warrior and Savage and Piper and all those guys were already made. Bro, Taker, I got to tell you, man, Bruce Pritchard, actually had a lot to do with that as well. But man, when you think about it, like, what wrestling characters did he really create? You know, when you look at guys like Sid and Shawn Michaels, they weren't characters, like they were wrestlers. Bret Hart was a wrestler. A lot of them were straight up wrestlers.
Mhm.
When you talk about characters, man, there weren't too many.
I think with Bret and Shawn, being a good wrestler was a part of their
The character.
Yeah, like Shawn was so pompous and he was so arrogant that the fact that he was such a good wrestler just played into his arrogance.
But that was Shawn though, bro. That wasn't really Vince.
Yeah, but he was the whole sexy boy angle was the fact that he was cocky. You know what I mean? Like he's so good. I'm better looking than you. I'm a better wrestler than you are. I'm just better. You know what I mean? So that helped him a lot. Bret was just an amazing technician, man. He was good all the way around. Let's see here. We have Michael 199 UG's musical chairs with Flair and Jericho. I remember that was funny too. We got Rollin 999 WWE showing Steve Austin at the end of the Raw on USA compilation. Yet
Rollin is not going to let this go, bro. He's going into 2025 with this.
Yes,
he ain't letting this go, bro. He ain't letting it go. You got to give Rollin credit, man. Got to give him credit.
Consistent.
Yes.
He says for those listening on audio, he says that WWE showing Steve Austin at the end of their Raw on USA compilation, yet WWE scrubbing Hogan from Saturday night's main event on NBC intro. It's clear who WWE believes is the GOAT or the greater assets.
That is great. That is great. Now, are you telling me in that compilation they didn't show The Rock?
They show The Rock in the compilation.
Okay, because that whoever listed it didn't list The Rock.
Rollin listed it, but he didn't say The Rock. But yes, they did show The Rock. Yeah.
Okay.
Zubair $2. Raw Homecoming better than Raw Netflix debut. Well, we'll see. I mean, it might be a banger. We shall see. $2. Anthony like the ABA gimmick with Taker. So,
I never saw that either, bro. I missed all of that. I never saw that, bro.
Yeah. All right, real quick, Vince. Got a few more minutes.
I'm going to go through this quickly, guys, because I said, the New Day. I just can't believe we're going to go through this Dominik gimmick all over again, bro. Here's the part that really troubles me, Chris, as a writer. We saw it happen on SmackDown on Friday, right? Sami Uso is going to walk into the Bloodline's house by himself. They're in this war with the Bloodline, and Yeet number 1, Yeet number 2 are going to let Sammy walk in the house by himself. And you have it again tonight. Jey Uso gets beat down. You got Solo and the Bloodline there. Where's Sammy? I just can't believe, bro. The baby faces are supposed to be in this war with the Bloodline, and they don't even show up in full force. I just have a problem with what kind of friends are they if they don't have each other's back?
Yeah. Not very loyal ones.
I'm just saying, you could say I'm nitpicking this. No, bro, I'm not nitpicking. This angle has been going on for months and months and months. You're not going to let a guy walk into enemy territory and be sitting at home.
Yeah.
But anyway, bro. Then we had the match with finally, bro, Gable and Otis. Was this 6 months after the fact?
Yeah. And sadly, the payoff is, Otis losing.
Well, the payoff is Otis losing, but the question is, how long are they going to drag this out?
Oh, you already know.
This is going to be another Finn Balor and Damian Priest gimmick so they're going to drag that out forever. Then we had the jury duty clubhouse. Then we had Ron Killings was attacked by Pete Dunne.
Yep.
Dakota Kai went over, and Io Sky did something in the back. Then we had Zoe Starks against Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai went over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, didn't we say a couple weeks ago they were going to put this belt on Dakota Kai?
She is definitely someone who is highly considered, but I know who is going to win, so I'm not going to disclose.
Oh, so it's going to be Velcro. Oh my God! If they think Miss Velcro is going to be over because she's got an intercontinental title, good luck with that, bro. Then we had the 6-man that you knew was coming from last week, Damian Priest and the War Raiders against Finn McMahon. I love the way they pointed out, they themselves pointed out, bro, that the Finn Priest angle has been going on since SummerSlam. Yeah, guys, end it. Like, yes, exactly. Why would you even mention that? Well, because it feels like it's been going on since last SummerSlam, 2023, Chris. Oh my God. Then we had they made the match with Jay and Drew next week on Netflix. Then we had the Kaiser Sheamus business. Then we had LWO with Alpha Academy for a match next week. Nobody cares about. Then we had Lyra Velcro went over. Then we had the face-to-face with CM Punk and Rollins. What do you think of that, Chris?
I liked it a lot, man. I think it was fire. I love the fact that they brought other companies into it. When I was looking at it, though, I was thinking the one thing I was thinking in my head. I love the fact that they brought some realism into it. But one thing I was curious about was when Hangman Page, like one of the biggest like butterfly effect moments in CM Punk's time in AEW was that promo face off between him and Hangman Page. And Hangman did do a couple low blow, moments that CM Punk didn't authorize. So I'm wondering, because his big thing was, we don't want you here, right? So I'm wondering, like, how is that different? How is those low blows from Page different from a lot of the things that Seth said to Punk? Does he approve it? Like, does he approve the Seth thing, but not the Hangman? Or should Hangman have just let him know that he's going to make a couple remarks? What's the difference in the approval or the reaction of Punk based on Page versus Seth? That's what
well, first of all, I think with the Page, I think Punk said that Page didn't smarten him up to some of the stuff that he was going to say. Yeah, I also bet you, though, Chris, it was a respect thing. I bet you he had zero respect for Hangman Page, none. Yeah. Whereas he's got a little history with Rollins. Rollins is probably smart enough to, smarten him up in the back. Yeah. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. I was just, bro, like, again, this is old school wrestling. Don't let him touch. Don't let him touch. Don't let him touch. Bro, after cutting that promo on each other back and forth, bro, they ain't going to stand there nose to nose and not touch. That's unrealistic. Let them go. Fill up the ring with agents, referees, the boys from the locker room. Make it an even Steven pull apart. Nobody gets the best over the other guy. I just think that would have been more effective than the nose to nose. That's all.
I think my pushback to that is that we already saw the crescendo. We already had a pull apart between Seth and Punk. So there's nothing else to build up there. Like, if the pull apart was at the very end, if the pull apart was tonight and the only time it was tonight, then that would have made sense. But the pull apart was weeks ago. So there's nothing to crescendo here. So, like, if you do 2 pull aparts in this few weeks, and I'm like, that's a bit overkill.
That's what you're pulling out the Dutch Mantel card, Chris. That's where Dutch would always say, Angle's already been shot. Angle's already been shot. Now we just got to maintenance. Got to maintain it. It's just maintenance now. The Angle's already shot. I used to hear that so much.
When you worked with him in TNA?
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, let's do these really, really quick ones before let's see here. real quick, Cedric, Vince, if for one day it got paid, would you do a review show for the Ruthless Aggression?
Yeah, absolutely. I would if I got paid for
it. Cool. Got some intel here. Interesting. We got McDowell's. $10. Raw felt like a retaped house show. Ain't looking too hot for the Netflix era. They are going to cram the next few weeks with Rumble qualifiers on Netflix. Don't be fooled. Happy New Year, brothers.
Guys, I just want to say real quick, Chris, because I know you want to wrap this up quickly. But guys, I just have to tell you, man, you have no idea what it takes to write and produce 6 hours of television a week. I've been there. I've done that. That's why I'm telling you, yes, the first show is going to be great. They had months and months and months to plan for this show. Once they get into that routine of having to produce, create, write 6 hours a week, you're going to get mediocre television, bro. It's a lot.
Yeah. Let's see here. We also have who's next? All right, we got David, $2. Lyra comes out to Velcro Fly by ZZ Top next week. Very nice.
I like it. I like it, David.
Yes. Yep. All right, Vince, let them know where to find you, my brother.
Yeah, guys, I'm just going to tell you again, man, if you want to experience Russo's brand and you've never been a Patreon member, just go to patreon.com/Russo TWC right now. Get a free week of the brand, bro. It'll cost you absolutely nothing. You get to try us out. Patreon.com/Russo TWC.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here is Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris. Follow him at the Vince Russo. Very nice. Follow me at Chris Prolific. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful new year. I will see you. We will see you next year. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.